So after talking about some of the basics in the previous video, we would be talking about amplitude modulation in a better way. So from the previous video, we understood that the amplitude modulated wave can be represented as AC 1 plus Ka mt cos 2 pi fct. So now what we can do is we can multiply and expand the brackets. So we get AC cos 2 pi fct plus KAAC mt cos 2 pi fct. So here we have the carrier signal, and this signal, as I have told you, that particular signal mt is getting multiplied with the cos signal, so we can write its Fourier transform very easily. So writing its Fourier transform, we know that Fourier transform for cos is written as impulse signals, so we have to half the magnitude. Remember this, step 1, half the magnitude. Then we move towards the impulse signals at the frequency f minus fc plus del of f plus fc. The next step is that for multiplication of the two signals KAAC, we'll multiply mt with cos 2 pi fct. We will be getting divide the amplitude by 2. This is the basic step. The first step is to divide the amplitude by 2. Next, m of f minus fc plus m of f plus fc. Okay, so this is the Fourier transform of that particular signal. So if we draw this particular signal, we will get this, let this be the axis. So we have to draw impulse signal at f minus fc, f plus fc. So to draw impulse signal, f is equal to fc, f is equal to minus fc. So two impulse at fc and minus fc. So let this be minus fc, this is fc. We get two impulse signals of amplitude AC by 2. The next is the shifted version of the message signal, m of f minus fc. So f is equal to fc, and here f is equal to minus fc. Let this be the message signal, as we have assumed earlier that message signal is this one. We will move the signal, let this be 0, this be w, this be minus w. So when as I told you in the previous video, that pick up this particular signal from the origin and move to the fc and minus fc. So one of them goes here, fc plus w, fc minus w. Similarly, one goes here, fc plus w, fc minus w. So different things can be interpreted from this particular figure. So are you aware that where is the actual information? Actual information is in the side lobes. So one of them, the information that is required by us, can be present here, it can be present here, can be present here, can be present here. So these contain the copies of the same data. So the data present here, the data present here is similar to data present here. The data present here is similar to data present here. So if we get one out of all of these, the message signal can still be retrieved. So we'll study later that there are different types. One is double sideband suppressed carrier, there is single sideband suppressed carrier, there is vestigial sideband. All can be made from this particular signal. So if this is w, this is minus w, what would be the bandwidth? It would be 2w. Okay, this would be the bandwidth of the signal. Now we observe that we have different parts for this particular signal. This is known as upper sideband, this is known as lower sideband, and this is the carrier signal as well. So the signal mt can be a single tone signal, or it can be a multi-tone signal. So all of those who are unaware of what is single tone and multi-tone, single tone is the signal containing a single frequency. Like it can be AM cos 2 pi FMT. But multitone contains multiple frequency components like AM1 cos 2 pi FM1T plus AM2 cos 2 pi FM2 into T. So this contains multiple frequency components. Now for writing the time domain equation for this particular signal, we can do this. Let us assume a single tone signal AM cos 2 pi FMT, and let us do this for this signal AC1 plus KA MT cos 2 pi FCT. So we'll put this here, and the signal of all the answers obtained can be plotted on a graph. So this is the basic thing, all of you must be aware of it. Now I'll talk about the important formulas that you must know. For a multitone signal, how will you find the bandwidth? Bandwidth is given as 2 times the maximum frequency, Fmax. So how to find the Fmax? So if you have a signal AC cos 2 pi FM1T, sorry, let it be AM1 plus AM2 cos 2 pi FM2T, FM3T, it has various frequency components. So you will take the maximum out of it and multiply it by 2. That would be the bandwidth of your signal. Next important concept is the concept of power of a signal. So all of us have been doing this, but none of us actually know the concept behind it. That we must know that power is always calculated for a RMS value. So the square of RMS, which is mean square. Actually, RMS is root mean square value. So if you square the signal, root and square will get cancelled and you will get a mean square value. So if you have a particular signal AC cos 2 pi FCT, how will you find the power of this particular signal? It's very easy. AC by root 2 is its RMS value. RMS value, square this. AC by 2, AC square by 2. This is the power of this particular signal. Very easy. Now let us find different ways to find the power of a complete signal. So AC, the signal was given by AC 1 plus KA, let MT by MT be AM cos 2 pi FMT into cos 2 pi FCT. I have done nothing except that I have multiplied, I have written MT as AM cos 2 pi FMT. So what would be my next step? I'll solve this equation, I'll multiply it, and the answer obtained would be AC cos 2 pi FCT plus AC KA AM by 2 cos 2 pi FC plus FM into T plus AC KA AM by 2 cos 2 pi FC minus FM into T. So this is very easy. You can multiply it, and I think all of you must be aware of it. I'm here only to tell you the important thing for ISRO exam. KAM can be written as mu, as discussed earlier, mu, and writing it again, AC cos 2 pi FCT plus AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC plus FM into T plus AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC minus FM into T. This is the complete signal that you have obtained. Now what I'll do, same step. What will be the RMS value? AC by root 2. What will be the RMS value? AC mu by 2 root 2. What will be the RMS value? AC mu by 2 root 2. Square this, square this, square this. So the total power PT would be AC square by 2 plus AC square mu square by 8 plus AC square mu square by 8. So adding this, AC square by 2 plus AC square mu square by 4. Taking AC square by 2 common, 1 plus mu square by 2. And AC square by 2 was the power of carrier signal, which was AC cos 2 pi FCT. And we got AC by root 2 square, which is AC square by 2. Now what we would get after this, AC square by 2 can be written as PC 1 plus mu square by 2. This is the total power. And the next step would be very important to calculate eta, which is known as power efficiency. Power efficiency, which is useful power divided by total power. So what is the useful power? As I told you, in a particular message signal, what are the important parts which contain the information of the message signal? It could be the upper sideband, it could be the lower sideband, it could be the lower sideband, it could be the upper sideband. These are carrying information. So what is not carrying information is this particular impulse signal. So what would be the useful power? Power of upper sideband plus power of lower sideband divided by total power. So PC mu square by 8 plus PC mu square by 8 divided by PC 1 plus mu square by 2. Okay. So after solving this, I'm really sorry, it would be PC mu square by 4, PC mu square by 4, because PC is AC square by 2, AC square by 2 will be PC mu square by 4. So we will get mu square by 2 divided by 1 plus mu square by 2. So one of the biggest mistake that I made was to remember it in a different way by taking the LCM and solving it, which was u square divided by 2 plus u square. This is the worst way to remember it. And if you are solving ISRO questions, you will see that none of your answer would come from this, because this is only valid for a signal having message signal as sinusoidal cos 2 pi FCT FMT. This is only valid for a sinusoidal signal, whereas if you have a square signal, if you have a triangular signal, this one is not valid. So how do you solve this particular thing? So I'll tell you a shortcut that you must remember, and all of the answer would be solved from that particular thing. Mu is Ka into Am. Ka square Am square by 2 1 plus Ka square Am square by 2. Okay, so Am square by 2 is mean square value. Am square by 2 is mean square value. So this can be mean square value of anything. So I'll write it as Ka square M mean square value M square T divided by 1 plus Ka square M square T. So if you have any type of signal, you can solve it using this very easily. How? You have to write an efficiency as Ka square mean square value of that particular signal, mean square value of that signal. Similarly, 1 plus Ka square M square T, which is mean square value of that particular signal, and mean square value will be very easily calculated, and you must have been doing it in signals and system. If you haven't, I'll tell you while we'll be studying signals and systems. It is very easily. You have to take the mean 1 by T integration. This is the total time period 0 to T, and here you take the particular function and then squared value M square T, squared value of that particular signal, and you get the mean square value. This is also a way to calculate the power signal. You'll studying signals and systems as well. So after getting this efficiency, you can solve it for anything. Like you must be aware that for a square signal, yes, a square signal, the mean square value is Am square. You'll learn it slowly. When you keep on solving questions, you'll know that its mean square value is Am square. So it would become Ka square am square 1 plus ka square am square. So the formula would become mu square divided by 1 plus mu square. And what you were expecting was 2 here, but here you get 1. Similarly for triangular signal, you get mu square divided by 3 plus mu square. So there are different options available. You can get different answers for different things. So if you have understood this, I'll move towards the next thing, which is the graphical representation. So you are changing the amplitude of the carrier signal. So let this be the carrier signal and this be the message signal. So when you change the amplitude of the carrier signal according to the message signal, what you will get? You will get, I'll draw the same signal again, I'll draw the same signal again, and I'll draw the carrier signal inside it. So what is the maximum value? I won't tell you how things come because it's the time to know things, and I'm only here to make you remember all the things which are important for ISRO examination. So what would be the maximum value? Maximum value would be Emax equal to, this is the maximum value, Emax maximum value would be AC 1 plus mu. Similarly, minimum value would be AC 1 minus mu. This is very important to remember, Emax and Emin. And you can also calculate mu from this, which is Emax minus Emin divided by Emax plus Emin. Okay, mu is a very important part for a particular AM signal. Okay, so there's one more trick to find mu, and this is very important. Here you have seen that the signal is symmetrical, but what would happen if the signal is not symmetrical? Like, I will give an example. If your message signal is like this, then what would happen? It is not symmetrical. Then you get Vmax minus Vmin divided by Vmax plus Vmin plus 2AC. And this is the most important part, 2AC, which is 2 times amplitude of the carrier signal. You get mu, and you can solve any question from this. Sometimes in ISRO exam you are directly asked about mu, and it can be easily found out using this formula. Now the other important thing that you will find is if you are given that you have an antenna of resistance R. Sometimes in ISRO exams it is asked that there is an antenna of resistance R, and find the total current if this is the carrier current. So in those type of questions, what you do, if you have to find the total power through the antenna of resistance R, it is given by AC square by 2 1 plus mu square by 2. This is the normal power of a simple amplitude modulated signal. Total power is given by this. So this is being transmitted through an antenna of resistance R. So what you will do, you will divide this by R. This is simple. You need to remember this, and all of your questions will be solved. Similarly, sometimes you are asked the total current. It is actually found out as IC square 1 plus mu square by 2, and this is the carrier current. These are some of the questions that that can be easily solved using this formula. And now we have to discuss about the generation of the AM signal. We have square law modulator, we have detection using envelope detector. So we'll discuss this in the next video. I hope you like this. Thank you very much.